you. God wants to partner with you. God wants to partner with you. God wants to come in like a flood. God wants to come in like a mighty rushing wind. God wants to come in and fill every empty place in your life. But you're so busy trying to act like you don't need nobody. Not only have you lost companionship, you've lost fellowship with God. Stop being so strong and be weak for a minute, because God said his strength is made perfect in your weakness. That the way to go up is to go down. If you humble yourself, I'll exalt you. Cry loud, spare not, ye inhabitants of Zion, for when Zion shall travail, sons and daughters shall be born. I want to hear Zion, Zion travail. Zion, travail. Don't hide it. Don't bury it. Don't cover it up. Don't camouflage it. Open your mouth and God will fill you. Open your mouth and God will exalt you. Open your mouth and God will intercede. I can hear you. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he's yet near. God said, I want you to seek me. I'm tired of looking for you. I want you to start looking for me. If there's anybody in here that's looking for God, holler right now. See, that's what's wrong with you. When it comes to seeking God, you'll do it 30 seconds. You'll do it 45 seconds. But if it comes to seeking a man, you'll plot for a month and a half. When it comes to hunting for a woman, you'll get up early. You'll go to the gym. You'll work out like an animal. God said, I'm jealous. I'm tired of you putting more energy into your false gods than you put into me. I want you to seek for me like you seek for your lover. I want you to seek for me like you're hunting for a job. I want you to look for me like you look for a house. I want you to put some effort to it. I'm going to give you one more chance. Open your mouth and shout at the God. Shout. Shout till hell gets jealous. Shout like a junkie needs a fix. Shout like you're craving a cigarette. Shout like you're tired of being empty. Shout like you need a breakthrough. Shout like you want a door open. Shout like you're tired of being empty. Shout. You owe it to yourself to find out what would happen if you entered into partnership with God. The abundant life comes when you get the hookup. You trying to do it by yourself so you can impress God. God don't need to be impressed. He needs submission. He needs you to confess, I'm not as smart. I'm not sure. I don't know what to do. I need your street people and say, I need it. I need it. I'm going through a stage in my life that I need it. I'm in pain and I need it. I'm in trouble and I need it. I'm desperate and I need it. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what I got on. I don't care what they say. In the storm, steady in unsteadiness, stable in instability, consistent in crisis. I prophesied as I was commanded. I didn't know whether it was going to work or not, but I prophesied as I was commanded. Can these bones live again? I don't know, but I did what you told me to do. Success for me is not to raise the bones. Success for me is to obey the God that said, preach to the bones. It's my job to preach to them. It's your job to raise them. These are trying times, and these are difficult times. And I will admit that I am even theologically perplexed. Because on one hand, I hear Jesus say, take no thought of what you shall wear and what you shall eat and where you shall live. It almost suggests that I should be complacent, detached, relaxed, that just don't worry about anything. And then he goes on, the Apostle Paul says to us, be anxious for nothing, but in everything with prayer and supplication make your requests made known unto God. And that thing right there, the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall guard your heart, your mind, your emotions. I need security, not around my body, but around my emotions, to keep away the anxiety and the depression and the fear. And he's telling me to be anxious for nothing. And yet, on the other hand, the wise man Solomon in Ecclesiastes tells me to look on the ant, you sluggard, and prepare for winter while it's summer. Not to waste my days in vanity, but to have a strategy that incorporates sustenance for survival. These things seem contradictory one to the other. And then I look at Joseph, whose strategy was so complete that he used the 7 years of plenty against the 7 years of famine. And he controlled what was next by the way he thought. And when I look at the two things together, I get confused because I'm a strategist by nature. And when Jesus says take no thought, it goes against everything in me not to take thought. My sister texted us last night and said, be sure you leave your water running. It's gonna freeze. I immediately turned the shower on just real low, just a drip, because we old school. That's why you have to be over 50 to get texts like that. When you're 20, you don't get texts like that, but when you're over 50, you get texts to leave your water running. And while I believe God for my pipes, and I believe God to take care of my house, I still kept my water running. We just came out of a season where there was a national debate about wearing masks. You know, and they said if you had faith, you wouldn't wear them. And I believe God. But, you know, I noticed that the people who said faith would make them not wear them wore seatbelts. So I thought if you really had faith, unbuckle your seatbelt. So what does it mean to lead in turbulent times, and how does faith express itself in times that are perplexing? It creates stress, not only because of what we are enduring, but how does our faith show up in the crisis? What does that look like? And for different people, you will get different answers. Some people say they have so much faith, they don't worry about anything. So they don't have life insurance or health insurance or anything like that. I'm serious. They don't worry about anything. They don't go to doctors. They don't worry about anything. They could drive on the wrong side of the road. They don't worry about anything. How does faith show up in a crisis? How does faith manifest itself when God himself tells us to be strategic and rewards Joseph for the strategy? And Joseph becomes the prince of Egypt because he's thinking ahead, and yet Jesus says, take no thought. But if I only take that phrase without reading the rest of the text, Jesus isn't telling us to be mindless. He is not telling us to be mindless. He's telling us not to worry. He's not saying we can't have a strategy. He's telling us not to worry. He's managing our emotions against anxiety. When the Apostle Paul says, be anxious for nothing, it didn't tell you not to want something. It just says not to be anxious about it. Don't allow your emotions to make you frantic just because you have a plan.